Wow, it is cold. We're putting that on. Yep, and heated seats are a must. There we go. Good to go. I will be keeping traction on. There's some cold tires. Oh. Hello, welcome to the video. Focus. Focus. There we go. Welcome to the video. As you can see by the title, how do I afford my M2? To start off with, it feels like a very long time since I filmed a video. In fact, it has been a long time. It's been about a month. Lockdown happened, so all of the content that I had lined up to film with other people and their cars, that fell through because of lockdown. Then I got super busy. I couldn't film anything. I've been super busy with work, super busy with my personal life. And then also, there's only so many videos that I can do with the M2, just walking around doing revs and talking about how you shouldn't get a Remus exhaust. Ironically, that's today's video. We're going to be talking about the M2. First of all, and also, how cool does it look with the fog? It is a lot kind of darker than what you're seeing on screen. Obviously with my camera it's raised it a little bit and it looks a lot brighter, but I'll put some overlays or whatever. You can kind of see how cool it looks. So I'm 25 years old. How do I afford a 55 grand BMW M2? Well, the simple answer is finance. Before I start, I am not a mortgage advisor, I'm not a broker, I'm not a financial advisor. This is me, my personal experiences, and this is, I understand that everybody is different with how they want to handle their money and how they feel that they should spend their money. But for me personally, I finance mine on a PCP. So I'm going to do a video at some point with Darren Gibson, my car broker, my car finance broker. We're going to get together and do a video with the whole lockdown situation, the pandemic. I don't know when that will be. March, May, summer, who knows, could be this time next year. But if you do have any questions, to fire away at Darren or nearer the time, I'll get you guys to write some questions down or whatever and we can cover it. So there tends to be kind of three ways of acquiring a car. You could either pay it off in cash, so literally I have 55 grand saved up and I give that to BMW and I get given this car. I can finance it, so I can lease it, which means it's kind of like renting a car, glorified rent-a-car. You pay for it over a certain month, and then that's it. You basically borrow the car and then you hand it back. That's what I had in my M140i. I paid $315 a month, and then after 2 years I just gave the car back. Or you PCP it. So PCPing is more like a mortgage in some ways. You have 55 grand and I only pay the first 4 years, then there's the other half of the money, which is called the balloon, and I can either hand the car back, so I can kind of just only pay for that period. I can sell the car privately and pay off the balloon, or I can pay off the balloon with my own money and I can keep the car. That's kind of PCPing in a very broad sense. So I pay for PCP, and the reason I do this is, imagine I have 55 grand, which is the car brand new. I walk into the dealership, imagine I am able to save up 55 grand, I give that to BMW and I walk away with the car and I have nothing basically. I'm still renting, or I'm still living with my parents, or whatever kind of living situation I am. I can't go on a holiday because I've spent all my money, but I now have an M2. Whereas instead, I feel it's better to put 10 grand into the car, pay monthly over a 4-year period, and then use 45 grand to maybe put it on a deposit of a house, and then now I've got a house and a car that I'm both paying monthly for, obviously, but I've got almost two things out of that. And obviously it's better off to be putting your money into a house, paying off a mortgage, etc., because that essentially appreciates or holds its value better. Housing will never be free. You've got a place to stay, you've got a place to live, etc., like that. So me personally, I think it's just better that I spread my payments out, put 10 grand down as a deposit, 20 grand to a house, and then 25 grand into, I don't know, trading cryptocurrency and making money like that. I think it's just better to spread my money evenly rather than just have everything 55 grand tied up into a car. There's obviously the argument that if I give them 55 grand and I obviously don't have to pay any interest because I bought the car outright, is when I sell that car in 3, 4, 5 years time, I'm going to get some of that money back. Yes, that's true. You don't know how much you're going to get back, but that's money tied up in that car, and in that 3, 4, 5, 6 year period, you still haven't had that money to buy a house, put it into stocks and shares, etc. like that. So that's just kind of my take. I realise that the cheapest way to buy a car is obviously with cash. You can go get a bank loan, but banks will tend to only really lend you money up to about 20 grand, I think. Darren Gibson's going to be able to tell you more on all this stuff, but that's when you have to kind of go to other lenders who will lend you the money for this. And a bank will still put an interest on there, tends to be maybe what, 2%. Obviously the lender that I've gone with to acquire this is a higher interest. Yes, I'm paying interest, but that's the same as a mortgage, and it allows me to enjoy a car, enjoy an M2. And obviously the reality is I am paid well enough to be able to afford this monthly. I'm not flexing or anything like that, but I'm just trying to, you know, be real that you don't want to be spending all of your money every month on just your car. So I hope that makes sense. Hope you enjoyed the video. That's me in the car. I thought I'd talk a little bit about it because I have a lot of friends who ask me how I acquire my cars. They want to get into cars, and that's kind of just the advice that I give them. It's always best to PCP a car if you can. You're kind of just paying off a portion of the car, and you can, at the end of that, you can decide to either keep it, give it back, or sell it privately, maybe even make a profit. So yeah, like and subscribe, the usual, comment down below, and I'll see you later in the next one. I'm going to try and get more videos out. Hopefully now that lockdown's over, I can get the ball rolling a little bit more. I can get back to filming with the people that I was meant to film, the usual. So that is me out. I'm going to get back in the car because it's absolutely freezing, and I'll see you later in the next one.